Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the NECA SDCC, did I get that right? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 4-pack. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. All right, taking a look at the front of the package here, you can see that it is very reminiscent of the old VHS box for this movie. It says they're back in time for their newest action figures, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and then it shows some nice artwork there on the front of our boys in green. Flipping around here on the side, you can just see it does say real toys, but that's just the subline from NECA. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 right there on the side, says it on the other side as well. Then flipping around here on the back of the package, you can see it is very much like an old school VHS cassette box. It's got some quotes on there. I'm really proud of the guys and gals over at the YHS podcast for getting a quote on the back of the package. That's really cool. If you guys aren't checking out their show or their toy show that comes on every Tuesday night at 9:30 Eastern, I believe, check them out over at YHS on YouTube or Toy Anxiety, wherever you get your podcasts, because their toy show, Toy Anxiety, is just one of the best, most entertaining, funny, and informative toy podcast on the market. I love that it's got some of the quotes here. It shows everything that, well, it lists everything that's included and the people who worked on the figures. So really nice. I dig the back of this box. It looks great. This box actually makes a really good display piece. Taking the slipcover off, you can see the boys right here, and most of everything that they come with is kind of visible in the front. There's a secondary tray back behind this, and boy, there is a ton of accessories to go through, and we're going to go through all of this and hopefully not make it an hour-long review. Sliding the tray out, you can also see that there's some nice, like, old school, like, samurai art, some illustrations in the back of the boys in green, and that looks pretty nice. You can also slide that piece out if you wanted to use it as a display piece as well. All right, so we're going to kind of go through each one of the boys in green here and show you the different iterations and things you can do with them. Starting off with the leader, Leo. One of the things you're going to notice is that all of the bodies are exactly the same with the exception of the belts. The belts are a separate piece. The red, what I mean is the red belt that goes around their waist. It's a separate piece that's been applied, and each one is different on the 4 Ninja Turtles. But other than that, and other than Leo having the scabbards on his back, all of the bodies are identical and exactly the same, come with the same articulation, the same hands, and the same feet on every figure. Everything's the same, so we're just going to go over each iteration of the figure and how you can deck them out. Now, we're going to start off here with Leonardo, looking just straight up and down, no extra poses or anything here. We're just going to go straight for the different iterations. So you can pose out Leonardo here with just as he comes in the package. You can add the samurai helmet. You can add the cloak, which is wired around the neck and down the front sides of the cloak. It looks really cool once you put these on. It adds some nice bulk and angles to the shoulders, which I really like. Leonardo's is a little different because it does have 4 slits in the back so that his scabbards can poke through, and I would say be very careful sliding these on because it does feel like you're going to tear the fabric just a little bit. They could have stood to be just a little bit wider, or taller vertically, to allow the bottom parts of the scabbards to go through without stretching the material, but it does work very well. Just be careful when applying. You can also add the mask to Leonardo and completely deck him out 100%, and boy does he look really, really good. There are alternate angry Ninja Turtle heads that you can put on that do have the bandanas coming around the front, but these heads are not really made for these Ninja Turtles. They're actually made for the very first line of movie Ninja Turtles from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. These are angry heads that fit on those figures, so if you have them, these heads fit nicely. Next, moving over to Donatello. Boy, he looks happy. Again, everything's the same, just the belt is different. I do want to show Donatello here from the back without his since he doesn't have the scabbards that Leonardo does. And before we put the cloak on, I wanted to show how each of the Ninja Turtles look in the back. You can see that their tunic kind of opens up and you can expose a little bit of their shell. You can see how the belt is different around the back and how the green sash ties right there at the butt, and the bagginess of the pants looks really cool. I really dig it. It looks nice. So I did want to show off what he looks like from behind. You can deck him out with his helmet, with the cloak, and with the mask to complete the look. And again, if you do want to put the angry head Donatello on, you certainly can. And if you have the first set of Ninja Turtles, that's where that head goes. So it looks really good. I'm digging it. I'm glad they included these bonus heads for everybody who has the first set of Ninja Turtles. Here's everybody's favorite party dude, Mikey, looking really nice in the front. Here he is again from the back. You can deck him out, of course, with his helmet, the cloak, and the mask. And I think he looks really good with the mask on. He looks like he's having a good time. You can, of course, put the angry head on him if you would like to, but of course it does go for that first Ninja Turtle body. And my personal favorite, and that's why I saved him to last, Raphael, looking really good. Kind of a little googly-eyed, kind of a goofy little face on his face. Well, goofy face on his face. He does look really good, and I like the simplicity of his belt. Here's what Raph looks like from behind, with the helmet on, with the cloak on, and the mask. And of course you can put the angry head, which doesn't look too bad on this guy, but of course looks better on this guy. Taking a closer look at the accessories here, you do get a bunch of hands. You get 2 extra gripping hands, 2 kind of open hands, 2 fists, 2 splayed out gesturing hands, and then 2 finger pointing hands. And I will give you a note of warning. The very first hand that I tried to pop off was Donatello's, and it broke. And so I would say you may want to take a heat gun or a hair dryer to these wrist pegs before swapping the hands out, just to be on the safe side. And seeing how that Raphael is my favorite, we're going to use him to go over some more details on the figure and some of the articulation here. I do just want to show off how beautifully crafted these figures are. From the skin texture on the Ninja Turtle's face, to the texturing of the helmet, the rivets, the sculpting, the paintwork. This is exquisite craftsmanship for it to be a mass market, mass produced figure set. It's just absolutely incredible. The detail on the cloth, on the armor, how everything is like individually painted, the details. The way the helmet clips on is there's a little clip, and it kind of plugs in right above where you plug in the bandanas, which are swappable with other bandanas in the line if you have other Ninja Turtles and other lines. The cloak is really easy to remove. It's super simple, except for Leo. It's a little more involved. But yeah, let's get this out of the way. And I just really want to show off like how this figure moves and operates. The head can look up about that far. It's on a ball joint, so it gets lots of range of motion. He can only look down about that far, which isn't the best, but it is what it is. Moving around here on the back, you can see that the belt is a separate piece. It's one separate piece. It's kind of was probably put on after the fact or during production. You can see that the arms can move all the way around. They can go up. I wouldn't say this is a full T-pose. It's almost there. It's like a 95% T-pose. There's no upper bicep swivel. There's the slightest butterfly joint, but you don't get a lot of movement there. Can't really get that arm across in front of the body. You do have a single joint that goes past 90, so that works. And it does have a hinge and swivel there at the elbow. And all of the hands have a horizontal peg, and that's a shame because we really should have gotten some vertical pegs on the characters that have swords or wield swords, or just vertical pegs in general would have helped as far as the articulation goes. Now there is no drop down joint on the legs, and because of the bulky pants, he can only move forward about that far and can only move back about that far. So that's not the best in the world, but you're not going to get a ton of movement out of these guys, anyway, just because of their bulk. He does have a waist swivel, and you can go all the way out and get that Jean-Claude Van Damme split going on. You can get it. It is there. That articulation is there. As far as the knee joints go, you can they're hidden in the fabric here. It can only bend backwards about that far if you tuck the leg in, the lower leg into the pants. Now you can see that the front of the knee joint is kind of flat but hopefully it's not very visible on your shelf. There is ankle rocker and a hinge and pivot right there at the foot, and there is the top of the boot swivels and the top of the ankle swivels. So there is some nice articulation from the knees down. But yeah, it's not the best. It could be a little bit better, but you know what? These guys are basically display pieces. I'm not going to be posing them in crazy poses anyway. So on my shelf, this articulation is fine. But somebody looking for tons of articulation, you're just really not going to get it in these figures, just because of the bulk and size. Sliding the cloaks on, they go on super easy, except for Leo's, of course, is a little bit of a chore. But there you have it. As far as man, that head sculpt is just beautiful. It's absolutely great. As far as the mask goes, you just want to tuck it over the mouth and then just slide the little rope part just to the top of the head, just barely where the bandana ties, and then you can just plug the helmet on, and once it's plugged in, it's not going to come off. It stays on pretty good. This mask, the mustache is a little crooked. Not all of the masks have color accurate whiskers like beards and mustache. I believe Donnie's is purple and Mikey's is a little orange, but the rest are kind of like this grayish color. And just bringing in old Raph here for a size comparison. That's how they kind of compare as far as height-wise goes and aesthetics go. The movie's really changed the animatronics and the suits from the first to the third, so they look a little different. Just going over the accessories here, you can see here is Raph's size. They look very, very similar to the ones he had in the first movie, with the wraps all the way around the side of the little tongs on the side. Looks really nice. Mikey's nunchucks look nice and very wood-like, but instead of having like an actual string between them, like in the first set of figures, these have a little piece of plastic in between them. Mikey also comes with the swords. I believe it was Mikey that used these in the movie, the two sabers that he used, and they are different. If I can actually get them in front of the camera. I use my phone. If you guys ever wonder why sometimes my stuff's a little off to the side, I use my phone, and I can't ever remember where my camera is, apparently. On the back of my phone, it's offset. There's Donatello's staff, his bow staff, and then Leonardo's swords that have some nice paint work on the wraps. And detail on the handles that looks really, really nice. Okay, moving on to the masks, like I was talking about before, they're all the exact same sculpt, but you'll see that a couple of them have like these dark brown mustache and beard colors, and then some are purple and some are orange. So here's the first time scepter that we get. This is the old ancient one. This is the gift that April brings to Master Splinter at the very beginning that sets off the events of the movie. Here is the broken time scepter. I believe this is the one that actually is the one that April delivers to Splinter that is the catalyst for the events of the film. And then here is the exquisite, beautifully crafted ancient version that the samurai lord has in the past in the 1700s, and then swaps places with April and then the Ninja Turtles. So the time scepters look really, really good. So there you have it. There's a closer look at NECA's 4-pack of Ninja Turtles. These things are incredible, and if you wanted them, I hope you had a chance to order them. The week leading up to San Diego Comic-Con, they went up every day, I think, for like 3 days in a row. I think it was like a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was completely unsuccessful, and most of my friends were getting them on Wednesday and Thursday, but Friday it seemed to be a lot easier to get these guys. So I don't know if they were holding out, just a certain allotment to be pre-ordered each day before San Diego Comic-Con. I believe they were sold there at San Diego Comic-Con, and so if you were in attendance, you had a chance to pick them up. This is just an amazing, amazing set of figures, and honestly, they may be... I may have to make a special exception to put these as one figure in the figure of the year list for me, because they're just expertly crafted, beautifully sculpted. I mean, exquisitely painted. The detail here is unmatched. It is absolutely incredible. So say what you will about the film. It's good, it's bad, it's terrible, it's horrible, whatever. The figures from it, are amazing. We can all agree on that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I super appreciate it. Please continue to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am the Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I'm your host, Mark, and I will catch you in the toy aisles.